This is my garden. I'm just walking up a long walk with the dahlias and the hydrangea. With phlox. Peonies have flowered, green and gone. My seating area with all the pots. Fruit trees espaliered against the wall. Clematis climbing between them to encourage all the wildlife.
Hello and welcome to our garden in North Shropshire. My name is Jenny and I live here with my husband Alistair, my daughter Olivia, my son Joshua and of course Murphy the dog. We've lived here for 10 years and during that time we have created the garden that you see here today. We have about an acre of land in total, but when we moved in there was no garden to speak of and it mostly consisted of a field full of weeds. We certainly had no grand plan, but rather bounced ideas off one another, tackling small areas at a time. We soon realised that for the garden to work, it should reflect the Georgian architecture of the house, and so we opted for a formal, symmetrical layout in a series of rooms. Our first priority in the garden was to create a vegetable patch so that we could grow food for the family. We cleared an area to the side of the house and over the years found that the area was too small for our vegetable growing ambitions and it didn't get enough sun. Last year we decided to relocate the veg patch to the top of the garden near to the greenhouse and the shed. We have so many plans for the garden, but this strange time has forced us to stop and reflect on what we have achieved so far. We usually have such busy lives, with school and full-time jobs, but this period has given us the time to notice the little changes that occur with each passing day as the garden enters into spring, seeing the birds build nests in trees and hedges that we planted, hearing the hum of the bees amongst our flower borders and witnessing tadpoles emerge from frog spawn in the pond that we built as a family is immensely rewarding and humbling. We feel so proud of our garden and are so lucky we have this wonderful sanctuary to enjoy during this difficult period. It certainly seems all our hard work has paid off, and I hope you have enjoyed this brief tour of our garden too.
The Prior's Peace Garden is an appropriate setting for a Queen Anne rectory. The garden surrounds the house with formality, merging into less structured herbaceous borders, and from there taking the eye to the unspoilt countryside. Immediately in front of the house is a terrace with a balustrade, swamped in wisteria. Beyond that, open space leads to the borders. A palisade breaks the slope to make two flattish lawns with space for croquet or football. These two borders have the benefit of full sun and an old brick wall as a backdrop. The planting offers colour from March to November. On the right, an old yew tree serves as a canopy for al fresco eating.
Hi and welcome to my garden. It's relatively small, it's about 12 by potentially 20 metres long, and when we moved here 12 years ago it was an empty yard. Over the last 12 years I've used a lot of containers and self-seeded grasses to create small spaces which enable us to sit and enjoy the garden. I spend a lot of time sitting at this table, but I'll take you for a walk. I hope you enjoy it. So everything's either in a container or self-seeded between the bricks. And this ornamental tobacco plant is called Tinkerbell, also a great cut flower. This side has a lot more ornamental grasses in it. I just like the fact that they sort of allow the smaller plants to grow through them, and the grasses move and they last for the 4 seasons really before I cut them back, so they're a great element of my garden. They're a major part of it really. Lots of little plants in here, more of the little ornamental tobacco plants, nasturtiums, sunflowers, bistorts.
Hello, I'm David. This is my August garden in a corner of South Shropshire.
I've tried to create a garden with wildlife in mind. And a lot of plants we grew from seeds in lockdown, as we couldn't get to the garden centre, so I'm particularly pleased with the sweet peas and the nasturtiums. This is a vegetable patch which we've tried to cram in as much as possible. Beans, broad beans, peas, broccoli, rhubarb, and sunflowers. Obviously everybody has to have sunflowers, potatoes, and at the back we've got escallier apples. In the greenhouse we've grown tomatoes, and then this is our wildlife pond which we created last year, as it used to be a vegetable patch. And we're really pleased to say that we've got frogs and newts, water boatmen.
Hello, and welcome to the middle-aged section of the Shropshire Virtual Garden Show. We had a couple of gardens that we wanted to give particular mention to before we get on to the prizes, and they were Fiona's garden and the Rectory garden. In third place, though, we chose Baxter's, and we felt this was wonderful to see a front garden in use. The sort of garden that would stop you in your tracks when walking down the street.
And in second place is Down the Lane. I love this garden, really full, lovely colour schemes, lots of pots and vegetables, very impressive vegetable garden too, all looking very well tended.
And in first place, we decided that Murphy's garden should be the winner. And this really was the most fantastic example of a proper family garden. And it was really wonderful to see how quickly the family had managed to achieve what they did. And also to see the whole process. We thought that the presentation of the video was really top class, and really a well deserved amount of effort, you know, was got this garden in the first place. So well done to Murphy's garden.